This is the most prestigious night in entertainment, legal analysis, YouTube video podcasting that exists.
You're preventing future crimes.
Yeah.
No, that is not how the law works.
The amount of destruction, the amount of people that he hit. Every time he taps a cop car, it's a felony.
And the Dougie goes to...
Welcome, everybody, to the pageantry, the majesty, the excellence that is the Dougie Awards. I am Billy Business, and this is our real-life lawyer, Doug Ridley.
That's me. And for over 30 episodes at this point, we have talked about everything from Friends to Beetlejuice to Titanic to Batman to Superman. But one thing that we haven't had a chance to do yet is to pit these characters against each other and talk about who is the worst or the best.
So tonight, we're going to look back at over 30 episodes of Doug Defends, and we're going to tell you who is the worst good guy, or we're going to tell you who did the worst crime out of everything we've talked about. So stick around. The Dougies are happening right now. All right, so we've done a lot of episodes. I just want to ask you, of all the ones we've done, do you have a favorite?
Yeah. But it's not the one that made me laugh the most. My favorite episode is our Andor episode. And arguably that may have been the most serious episode that we did. But I'm most proud of what we talked about and the work that we did in that episode.
That's an episode that we're going to talk about a little bit later tonight on the awards
We
show.
will? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We're going to give a little special shout out and talk about why that one is so special. For me, the one that I think is my most favorite to watch was Rudolph, which I think by that point that was one of, if not the last one that we shot before the holidays.
Yeah.
I think we were both a little tired.
Yes.
Both a little punchy.
Yes.
Both a little burnt out. And I think that made it so much more fun, especially when I was editing it later. But I think the one that was most fun for me to shoot, and probably the one that you disliked the most, was Freaky Friday, because not only did I force you to watch that movie, which you didn't want to watch, the first time we shot the whole thing, and you're like, finally it's done.
Yes.
Realized we didn't turn the soundboard on, so there was no audio.
So I had
at
to
all.
do it another
So
time.
So the second time, knowing how much you hated it, I think just watching a little piece of you die was just the best. But honestly, the thing I love about this is I've learned so much about the law. I've learned so much about my rights, and I think that's important for people to know. And getting it through Jurassic Park or Terminator is kind of an interesting way to learn about it, right?
The other thing I have to talk about is the nightmare fuel of the Golden Dougie itself, because first of all, like, a couple of shout outs, because Gabby, my daughter, Opal Cloudcar Mahushito, which I know I said your name wrong, who designed the original 2D version of the Doug Defends logo. And then I reached out to my good friend Stevie Kicks, that's at Stevie Kicks, who's a member of the Dad Batch, at Dad Batch Pod, who I said, hey, do you guys know how I could take this awesome cartoon that Gabby made of me and turn it into a 3D model? And he turned that around immediately.
Our winners tonight will be taking home a Dougie statue. But
yes.
since our winners are fictional, I think we get to take them on
I
their
know,
behalf.
it's so great.
Yeah.
And the last part of the shout out on this that I do want to acknowledge is, and I mentioned this a couple times on the show, I've been having so much fun with 3D printing recently. And Bamboo Labs 3D printer, I had tons of leftover filament from projects that we did back in COVID, and because I have the H2S printer, and because It is so amazing. I used scrap remnants of 25 different spools of filament, and it just stops and it just starts with the new filament and everything like that. So this is one of the most satisfying 3D printing projects that I've done. And then, of course, painted,
So what I just heard
shiny
is
gold.
not only is this a prestigious award, it's eco-friendly.
It is eco-friendly.
Fully
fully recycled. Well, kind of recycled. I mean,
it's still better than an Oscar, right? So I think it's time we get into these awards.
Yes.
Because that's why we're here for the awards show. I think the first award of the night is something that we've talked about a lot on this show, which is property destruction.
Yes.
So anytime basically that we do a superhero movie, property destruction is like, well, that's number one on the list, right?
Yeah.
But looking back at all of our episodes, there were a lot of people that destroyed a lot of things.
Yes.
So here are the nominees for biggest property destruction in a movie. Batman and the Tumbler Chase. Batman Begins. Sarah, John, Miles, and the T-800 destroy Cyberdyne. Terminator 2. Superman tries to stop Ultraman and Lex. Superman 2025. Dennis Nedry turns the fences off at Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. The Empire starts the Gorman Massacre. Andor.
Okay, and I'm a little nervous.
Those a lot of heavy hitters. Well, before we get to opening the thing, I just want to say, listening to those nominees, I mean, my God, there's a lot there, to me, that Cyberdyne attack, when I rewatched the movie, because I never really thought about it as a kid. Like, I knew it was like a big thing, but hearing you describe the charges and the levels and how deep and the trial that would come from that was one that I was just like, oh my God. Like, I know it was only one building, but the amount of damage that those four did in the span of about 12 minutes is
it's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. It is crazy.
Was there any on the list that you were just like, oh man, that one is?
It's funny because there's some that I'm laughing about, and then our last nominee was the Gorman Massacre, which I don't really laugh about so much. So like it's tough. There's so many good nominees here, Billy.
All right, but who's gonna win?
But the winner is and the Dougie goes to. I don't know who the winner is, by the way. So you're gonna see my live reaction right now. And the Dougie goes to. I love that you wrote this in Sharpie. Batman and the Tumbler from Batman Begins. Yay! Congratulations, Batman, for killing so many people and destroying so many police cars. And yeah, I mean, we're just so proud of the vigilante that you've become.
I mean, when you look back at that Batman Begins episode, it's like an hour and some change. At least 27 to 30 minutes is us just talking about what he did from the asylum back to the cave. Like, the amount of destruction, the amount of people that he hit. I think there was one line you said something to the effect of like, every time he taps a cop car, it's a felony.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like pretty a felony bad. On wheels.
It's pretty bad. And I'm looking forward to revisiting that next year, because some of the shows that we've already got, on our schedule that we're looking forward, to me, are the pinnacle of property damage. So I'm looking forward to talking about Batman vs. Superman, and I'm looking forward to talking about Man of Steel. So
funny that they both came from the same director in the same franchise.
Lots of sploding.
But you know what? There was some of the nominees, like Nedry turning off the fences. I think that was interesting, because until we did that episode, I never thought about that as like, obviously we know Nedry's the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
but if I was just watching that movie, I'd be like, well, he'd be in trouble for stealing those embryos and probably turning off the fences. But when you said every person that gets injured or dies is his fault, like,
Yeah.
that's a type of destruction that, and when you look at what happens to that park at the end,
Yeah.
they have to abandon it.
Right.
I mean, that's a multi-billion-dollar destruction right there based on one guy just pushing one button.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm glad that my hero Superman I deserved to be on the list, but I'm glad that the judges decided that he wasn't there, because at least with Superman, he was trying to avoid some of the property damage.
You could argue that Lex's whatever that thing was
Yeah.
doing most of the damage anyways.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I still remember so vividly him saving the little squirrel.
Oh yeah, the best part of that movie was the squirrel save. All right, so congratulations to Batman. You won your first Dougie of the night. He's nominated for other things, so let's see. Let's keep it.
It could
rolling.
be a sweep.
It could be a bat sweep tonight. I don't know. Well, I do know. But next we're going to talk about the biggest criminal accomplice, because a lot of times we did talk about there's a very obvious bad guy, or a very obvious that person committed a crime. But sometimes when we're talking about things, we talk about like, yeah, but that person is easily would be drawn in. And a lot of times my first question would be like, well, can you flip that guy to get the real guy?
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, what does the law consider technically an accomplice? Is it the same thing as an accessory to a crime? Is it different?
There are a couple of different variations, because the one exception that I don't even know that we really talked about it in an episode would be accessory after the fact.
Okay.
So, we usually see those where somebody's hiding evidence after the fact, or somebody is helping someone escape, or hiding them from the police, or something along those lines.
Sure.
So somebody who helps someone after the crime, but they're not really involved at all in the actual crime.
Got it.
But what makes someone an accomplice or a co-defendant or co-conspirator is that they start out wanting to do some of the same thing, or helping in some way to do this crime. So we talked a lot on the show about people who might start off, for the example that I love talking about is robbing a liquor store.
Sure.
You've got two people who say, let's go rob a liquor store. Somebody who gets itchy trigger finger and shoots the attendant. Well, the other person didn't want the attendant to die, wasn't looking for any deaths to happen, but he's equally responsible for all the actions of co-conspirators and accomplices and things along those lines. So we've had tons of examples of that, and I'm excited to hear what the nominees are in this exciting category.
Let's check out the nominees. Alfred, Batman Begins. T-800, Terminator 2. Linus, from Ocean's 11. Christopher Pike, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Those are some interesting choices for accomplices. I sometimes I forget about our Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but we were talking a lot about things that Spock had done and things that Una had done.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it was like Pike knew, or Pike was just like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll cover for you.
Yeah, I got your back on this.
And a lot of times I think it was, exactly what you just said, was maybe more of like after the fact, especially like with Una. Like, he knew that she was not allowed to be where she was, but kind of overlooked it a little bit.
Right. Well, I'll be curious to see what the judges voted on this one, but I know where my head is at, and I've got my favorite for the winner in this category.
Well, don't leave us in suspense. Let's find out who's taking home that Dougie.
So the winner of the biggest, the Dougie goes. It's never going to stop being funny. I'm going to do that the whole time. Rory, I'm sorry. I know I'm laughing at my own jokes again. Wifey hates it when I do that.
Wait, you think she's watched this far into the video?
Oh my gosh. Maybe
She's 2 rooms away from by now, dude.
Maybe Rory is the biggest criminal accomplice for enabling my appreciation of my own humor. The Dougie for the biggest criminal accomplice goes to Alfred from Batman Begins.
I mean, this one was a unanimous sweep.
No question about it.
And I think, I mean, they even joke about it in The Dark Knight. Like,
Yes.
I'm going to go to jail too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you know, Alfred obviously does it out of love and cares so much about Bruce. But yeah, Alfred, you're good for all of it, and you know it.
I think the T-800 was an interesting nominee just because
Yeah.
a lot of it hinged, and we talked about that a lot on that episode, which was that all depends on if you consider him sentient or not, you know?
Yes.
Alfred, on the other hand, I mean, this guy's like ordering parts for the suit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's creating all of the weapons. He's creating all of the bat gadgets. So you know, making him tea and crumpets when he comes back from missions.
And the part to me that's hilarious is that when Bruce comes back from his huge tumbler destruction chase, Alfred's like, "What was that?" And I'm just like, "What did you think he was going to do with all that stuff?" Dude?
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, you know, he didn't drive a bat bicycle out. He drove a bat tumbler. He drove the tank.
You didn't put like pepper spray on that thing. You know, you put missiles in there, Alfred.
Exactly.
Well, congratulations, Alfred.
Congratulations to Alfred.
But we love Alfred.
Who
Don't get me
finally
wrong.
deserves some acknowledgement all on his own, even if it is for being the biggest criminal accomplice.
Okay, so with our remaining accomplices,
Yes.
how would you rank them legally? As so we know that Alfred is the biggest criminal accomplice, but from the T-800, Linus from Ocean's 11, that's another interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, Linus from Ocean's 11 is good for everything. It just, you know, Ocean's 11 doesn't have the same level of lots and lots and lots of different crimes. It's fascinating. It's a great movie, and we had fun analyzing it. But you know, where there's so much property damage that Batman does, and so many different things that Batman does, that's why it wins. The T-800 assists with the destruction of Cyberdyne. That's huge property damage, and that actually, you know,
Plus
tracks.
he takes out every kneecap he sees, you know.
Yes, there's lots of kneecapping, and as it turns out, the socials didn't really like us talking about kneecapping. If you never saw the social media clip about kneecapping, it's because, well, they decided it went against community standards to talk about what happened in Terminator 2. But you know, and with Pike, you know, it's so funny. He's like all of the warm support of Alfred,
Right?
But being the commander for just covering up everybody's badness.
I mean, Alfred is actively creating Batman.
Yes.
To my knowledge, I don't think Pike is actively telling Spock, "Do this thing and I will help."
And
you
same
know?
and same with Una. I
Right,
mean, you know,
right.
he certainly doesn't. He covers up for his crew out of loyalty, which to me is an Alfred-esque quality. But that's why Alfred's the clear winner in this category.
Right. So I would say probably ranking, it's clearly Alfred, T-800, Linus, Pike.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Because, I mean, the level of accomplice that Linus is, I mean, Linus is good for everything across the board. And he actively participates as well.
Right.
So.
All right, Doug, let's take a minute to S our own D's because Doug Defends, it's a great show, I feel.
It is.
But we do have a lot of serious moments on Doug Defends, but there are some times where either I'm being annoying or you're being annoying, and it's just funny.
Yes. Or I'm annoyed. And it's funny. I could hear producer Linda laughing in the other room. I was annoyed not only through the Jake episode, but through Jake episodes before and Jake episodes after. I would continue referencing Jake.
There was about 4 or 5 episodes about completely off-topic things where you would drop a Jake from Freaky Friday reference.
Yes.
And I was like, there's a good chance if someone's watching this, they're like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
For sure.
And then, there's just sometimes I feel like I don't have the legal vocabulary that you have. So the only way that I can try to get a theory or a question out is to think of the most obnoxious hypothetical scenario.
I would agree with that.
Which has come out to make some pretty nice social clips, though.
It really has, and kudos to you for that too. When I talk to people about the show, friends and other people that have watched the show, yes, they say, "Oh, that was interesting. I didn't think about the legal aspect of all of that." But your everyman questions for it resonates with people, and it's the question you always wish you could have asked a lawyer, and just so happens that we're here, and I'll take a moment right now to thank you for, a lot of you have shared how good this show looks, and that's all because of Billy Business, and just thank you so much for all of the work that you put into making us look good.
Well, I couldn't do it without our real lawyer that I exploit in every title that we put up on social. But let's take a look at the nominees for funniest Doug Defends moment. Is it legal to be annoying, aka you suck, from Beetlejuice?
Right.
Could I pay someone to just follow you around all day? They never step on your property, but they follow you around all day and just go, you suck, you suck, you suck.
No.
We need Doug's bald head to light the set, from Indiana Jones. Terminator Dennis Nedry Jurassic Park action figure, from Jurassic Park. Look at what they did to my boy Dennis Nedry, aka Terminator Newman. My
God, that's ridiculous.
Is saying boo legal from Ghostbusters?
Boo is probably okay.
And I wave my boo. Doug McFly from Back to the Future. I am Billy Business, and having a midlife crisis right over here to my right, he's supposed to be our lawyer, Doug Ridley.
Well, I am, and
would you wear this to the courthouse?
No.
Anakin Skywalker's Can I Just Have One Girlfriend, from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Council.
Meanwhile, Ki-Adi-Mundi has like 4 wives, on his home planet. It's like, dude.
Right?
Can I have one girlfriend?
One. We're just looking for one. And yeah, so what's wrong with that?
Doug hates Jake from Freaky Friday.
Yes, because all of that. Oh my God. How does he have a Ducati? He works at a coffee shop, and he's what, a janitor at the school?
I'm not sure what he does at the school, because I've never seen a kid have a part-time job at the school.
I think Jake has some side work that he's doing.
He might.
I'm just saying.
All of these are classic moments. It's hard to pick one, but we picked one somehow.
I don't know if I've specifically articulated this on the show yet, but my wife and I have this conversation at home, and she says she doesn't always love that I laugh at my own jokes. and literally this entire show is you and me cracking each other up constantly.
Can we make the other break?
And then she'll watch the show with me, when it airs on Mondays, and she'll watch me know that I'm about to laugh at something that I've said about myself on the show, and I start laughing in real life before I start laughing on the TV.
The anticipatory
on the show.
laugh.
Anticipatory laugh. And she said, sometimes it just gets a little much. So Rory, I love you, and thank you for supporting me, and thank you for still sometimes laughing at some of the things that we say on the show.
Well, let's find out what's the funniest far Doug Defends moment.
The winner is, and the Dougie goes to...
You just got hit right now by
Yeah,
Rory
I
while
did.
you're watching this on the couch.
No,
Yeah.
I know. It is You Suck from Beetlejuice. Is it legal to be annoying? And oh my gosh, this is just so funny. Like,
Let's-
because it's not about harassing anyone.
No,
it's just
no.
because you really want to let them know that they suck.
If you haven't seen it, let's take a look real quick. Can you kind of define harassment? Because, like, could I pay someone if I didn't like you? I love Doug. But if
Right,
I didn't
right,
like you,
right.
could I pay someone to just follow you around all day? They never step on your property, but they follow you around all day and just go, you suck. You suck. You suck.
No,
I can't do that.
no, you
Why
can't.
not?
Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
How? But
Don't do that.
How? Where's like the legal line of harassment?
Right.
So I can't tell you suck. Like that's her. If I just like, this happens all the time. Someone cuts me off and I'm just like, you suck. And
Yeah.
I roll down my window to make sure they know that I know
Right.
that they suck.
You gave them a withering glare.
Yeah. So it's like if I pay someone to just tell you suck, they have the freedom of speech. They can say it. Right?
Yeah, they can say it the once.
You
And-
you can
and-
only tell someone they
and there's-
suck one time.
And there's not a legal limit on the number of times.
Okay.
But
but
if you paid somebody to follow me around all day, you can bet your ass that number one, I would be calling the police.
Okay.
I would be saying this person is making me afraid for my safety because no rational person would be doing this. And if I found out that you had hired that person, I would make sure that you're both connected on that.
but there is a rational reason.
Right.
The reason,
The reason is I suck.
Yeah, the reason is I want you to know. I know it sounds like I'm being really facetious and annoying here.
No,
pedantic,
I'm laughing the way I
But-
am because I know you're serious about it.
but I just
And I can absolutely see this
legally,
happening.
officer, I have been hired to let this gentleman know that my client thinks that he sucks, and I am well within my legal rights of freedom of speech to say that to him. I have no weapons on me. I have no history of violence. I have no intent of violence.
Yeah, and then at some point,
Right. Can you
a lot of
legally be
times-
annoying? I think is the core of this.
I love everything about
Yes.
this question.
See, and what I think, what I was trying to get to was like, honestly, it was the most obtuse, obnoxious way to ask exactly the final question was, is it legal to be just annoying? If I don't touch them, if I don't threaten them, can I just be annoying? Is there a law? But somehow it came out with this ridiculous scenario of someone who has too much disposable income that wants to pay someone else to just follow people around with a bullhorn telling them that they suck. But the part that cracks me up the most is when I think you asked me something to the effect of like why are you doing this? Like, and I'm like, well, I'm not hurting you. Like, is it because I suck? Yes.
Not hurting you. I just really want you to know. It's important to me that you know that you suck. I have to say it. I love that moment, and yes, I agree. And I think as much as we joke about Jake, and as
Right.
much as that was funny to me and to us for quite a few episodes, I have to say my number 2 funny moment has to be you going boo, saying I'm going to kill you,
Right.
and if I'm threatening you with great bodily injury or death with the apparent ability to do so, and it makes you afraid, now yes, those words do count as
But
a
I'm
crime.
not
It's
saying
a threat.
I'm
It's
saying
a criminal
boo.
threat.
I'm saying boo.
I know. Boo is probably okay.
And I wave my boo, like, and you just have a heart attack. That's not my fault, right? I didn't shove bacon down your throat for 30 years.
Oh my God, you broke me. You broke me on boo. So, I mean, the Ghostbusters, is it illegal to scare somebody? It wasn't so much the hypothetical, is it illegal to scare somebody? It was you and just going, boo! on camera.
Fun fact, we shot both of those episodes on the same day.
Yes.
So it was just...
we just had a fun time shooting Halloween episodes.
I think I was just channeling my dad. Those are like annoying hypotheticals that my dad would probably ask when I was younger, just to like get under my skin. And I was like, let me try that with Doug.
And as it turned out, it worked.
Yeah. But yeah, look, all of these moments are amazing. I think the Doug, we need your bald head to light the set was one where I literally looked at the footage and you had the hat on and I was like, oh no, like this episode is so dark. Like I'm going to have to redo it, or not redo it, but like correct it in the software. And I skimmed ahead to a couple minutes after you took it off. I was like, wait a minute, it's fine. And then I skimmed back. I was like, oh my God, his head is literally like a reflector.
Lighting the set.
We need your head.
We've taken a couple of pictures. We have a full studio here, folks. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, fully, studio ready lighting, but it's my head that makes the difference between dark and light in the Indiana Jones episode.
It's pretty incredible. A lot of fun moments, and there's probably a lot more to come because we're only 30 plus episodes in.
I know we're going to be doing this for a long time.
So now I want to give a special achievement, Dougie. And this was something you mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, but this was a very special episode that I felt like deserved its own shout out. Let's talk about our Andor episode for a minute, because you're right. That was one that we pushed off for a very long time.
Yeah.
Andor was supposed to come out months and months before it actually did. Part of that was me just needing to catch up, but another part of it was, like candidly, I was like, I don't know how we do this.
Yeah.
Like looking at the tone of the show, which is edutainment.
Yeah.
With, like an emphasis on humor, obviously the boo and the you suck and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, we can't do that for Andor. That doesn't feel right. And so, I think finally we're just like, we got to do it. And I was super nervous before that one.
Yeah, and it had taken, we filmed that episode at a time where things had gotten pretty crazy in the world as well. And we talk on the episode about how if we think about when that episode, number one, was written, penned, and then when it was shot, and then when it was edited, and then when it was aired, and then when we did our episode of it, it could not have been more relevant and more timely because of the actual protesting that was going on in the world. Right. And because we filmed that episode right after No King's Day, and there was so much going on all around, and I care very, very deeply about all of those issues, and you do as well. And we just knew that if we were going to do it, we were going to do our analysis of it, straight out our analysis of it. And it hits real world protest suppression, real world despotism, real world fascism, and I hope that we get to a time where those issues aren't as poignant as they were then and as they are today still.
That was one too where I think, if I remember correctly, we kind of agreed ahead of time, like, we're not going to hold back. We're not going to take anything out because we're worried about what we've said. That episode, the only real editing I did was putting in B-roll and clips.
Yeah.
I didn't take out anything we said. And that one was such a high performer for us, like leaps and bounds. We didn't do anything different in terms of promotion. It was just, I think we were right. It was at the time where everybody was thinking about it.
Yeah.
It was on everybody's mind. And I think we also made it not only was it wasn't just us like, doom scrolling, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
You also gave some amazing, it was a great tool set for if you're going to go to these protests. As a lawyer, I'm telling you to do this, bring this, say this, don't say that.
Yeah.
It was a great tool set for people who do go to protests, who do want to get involved with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So even though that episode is a few months old now, it is still 100% relevant today. And if you haven't watched that one, I suggest pause this and go watch it. Honestly, it's that important.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of the things behind the scenes that we don't really get a chance to, it's not content driven, but as we're reflecting on us doing the show, we usually do a little boost on our socials for a day or two, and then it gets traction on its own. And some of the social posts have hit incredible, wonderful numbers. I went back again when some other things were happening in the world to go try to boost the clip that we had originally posted from the Andor episode about things that you can do to make it so that you come back home that day specifically.
Right.
And so, talking about, tactics to prepare for gassing, tactics to prepare for being peaceful, and all of those things. And I went to go try to just boost that one more time to promote it. It actually didn't get approved the second time around. It got approved the first time around, no problem on the socials. The second time around, it was flagged as inappropriate political content. And that says something, again, about how our world has changed just over the course of the last year with this show.
The same thing happened on YouTube. We tried to put a short up. There was a segment in the Andor episode talking about, where we just kind of, when we download apps or something, we just willy-nilly, I agree. And we talked about what you're agreeing to and how a lot of times we give permission for things to spy on us.
Yeah.
And we put up a short of that, and it just... Nope. Wasn't going to happen. Zero views. And then our next... And I was like, that's weird. 0 views. And then our next one that I put up, which was from the following episode, nothing to do with anything like that, thousands of views on the... I was like, okay.
Yeah. And we are a show that is on these platforms, and so our frustration with it, we're going to work within this system to make sure that our content and the other good stuff that we do gets out there. But if you're not watching the entire YouTube, I know it's a lot to ask you to sit for an hour or put it in your ear for an hour or all that stuff. You're missing some really good stuff. I'm just saying.
All right, I think it's time that we hand out another award. We're getting towards the end of the evening, so these are the bigger awards.
Yes.
This one I love, this category, because to me, this was kind of like the whole drive of the show. This is what interested me in wanting to do this. This is the Not So Good Guy Award.
Yes.
And this is looking at the heroes, the good guys of our movies and the crimes that they commit that we're just like, but he's saving the day, I love this because I feel like that's exactly what we're watching for, right?
Right.
We already know that the good guy is doing the right thing,
right?
But we're looking at, what would really happen?
I remember the first time that you did this with me, it would have been our third episode. It was the Superman episode,
right?
Because you wanted me to say Superman's a murderer or Superman's a criminal anything.
Right.
I was like, I will not say that. The threat part of it, I'm not as concerned about. The assault and the kidnapping,
that's the problem.
He's
guilty.
He's good for that.
Superman is.
I love it so much.
Say it, Doug. Say Superman is a criminal.
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say Superman is guilty of kidnapping and assault.
Does he commit a crime? Does Superman commit a crime in this movie?
He does.
So does that make Superman a criminal?
He's a very nice, misunderstood man who has a reason for all the things that he did.
And this is why you're a great defense
This is why I
attorney.
defend. I refuse to say that Superman is a criminal, but I wonder what the nominations are here.
Well, Doug, since you asked, let's take a look at our nominees. Superman kidnaps a world leader. Superman 2025. Batman blows up innocents in excess chemicals. Batman 1989. Sarah Connor's Reign of Terror. Terminator 2. Marty McFly's horrible, horrible, horrible plan. Back to the Future. Ross Geller is a burglar and kind of a douchebag. Friends. Yeah, okay, so
We had so much fun.
there's that Friends episode was just that was
Yeah.
early goings.
Yeah,
but
it's time. It's time to go back to Friends.
Yeah.
It's definitely time to go back to Friends and to go back to The Office, especially now that we have the Silence of the Lambs episode under our belt,
Right,
And
yeah.
then we've got the Dwight Schrute, inflatable CPR dummy
Since
reference.
we're talking behind the scenes just real quick,
Yeah.
I want to tell everyone at home, if you watch the Office episode, go back and watch the Office episode. You'll notice it's A, shorter than just about all the other episodes, and B, I start like this and I end like, so thanks, bye. The reason was our camera, something was going on with our camera and our hard drive, and it would record for about 4 minutes
Yes.
and then shut off. So the Office episode was about 22 parts that I had to stitch together.
You were just getting
and
so
I was getting
mad.
so angry.
You were so mad.
So by the end, my answers and my questions kept getting shorter and shorter. And
Yeah.
I would death glare at you. I'm like, you better finish this thought because we have about 2 minutes left before this shuts off again. So I would love to do another Office now
Yeah.
that we've solved our problems. But looking at our nominees, these are a lot of, I think the one that shocked me the most when we did the episode was Marty McFly with Back to the Future.
Yes.
That episode, that was, to that point, we had never done 3 movies in one episode, but that episode didn't go the way I thought because I was like, we're going to talk a lot about Biff and how he reminds us of someone, and we're going to talk about these other things. We spent so much time talking about how horrible Marty acts, at least in that first one.
Yes.
That I left kind of like, oh, like I don't know
Yeah,
how I feel anymore.
yeah.
you know?
It's harder to watch, and now that I've ruined it for everybody, and I mean the I think everyone expected us to be really focused on Lorraine kissing Marty,
Right.
and ooh, that's so gross, and and that's that's small,
That's small potatoes,
that's small
yeah.
potatoes compared to everything else that we had in that episode.
Well, let's find out who is the worst good guy.
The Not So Good Guy Award. The winner is, the Dougie
Dougie
goes
goes
to. oh, so nervous about this.
It could be any one of them.
It really could be. And the Dougie goes to Sarah Connor in T2, an upset. Oh, wow.
You know, I gotta say, seeing that was interesting because I think there were like some choices that I thought would be more obvious. But when you think about, I think what maybe pushed Sarah into like, we think of her as just the ultimate female badass hero.
Yeah.
But when you and I kind of listed out the rap sheet, like
Yeah.
she does a lot of things. She's breaking into his home,
Yeah.
threatening to shoot up his kids, shoots him in the shoulder. She's
Yeah.
blowing up buildings.
Yeah.
She, like it in the context of the movie, it all feels justified
Right.
and okay.
Right.
But legally, oh boy.
Well, and everything she does in the escape from Pescadero.
Yes.
Legally distinct to Tascadero. But everything that she does there and everything she does to all the guards, and yes, some of them absolutely deserve it because they're creepy and awful and bad and it doesn't change it. So
It doesn't change
Yeah.
it legally, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, as we've talked about many times, how many times have I pestered you with, like, yeah, but can't I kill them if they, like, really deserve it?
Right.
you
I
know?
mean, they're really, really, really bad.
And they're going to
you
kill
know?
other people. It's like,
You're preventing future crimes.
Yeah.
No, that is not how the law works. Funny enough, though, as definitely a close runner-up with, we talked about Marty just a minute ago.
Yeah.
I was actually having a conversation with one of my judge friends last week.
okay.
And she said, "How's the show going?" and whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, you should definitely watch the Back to the Future episode." She's like, "What's wrong with Back?" I was like, "Tell me what the plot is in Back to the Future." She's like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, what's their plan for making them fall in love again?" It's some kind of an assault, and it's a very specific kind of an assault, and we won't talk about it here again because I don't want to take away from Sarah Connor's moment.
No, this is
This is Sarah Connor's moment right here.
Yeah.
And
We're
I
not
like
gonna
the idea.
Kanye. I'm sorry, but Marty McFly had the best crime of all time. You know.
Well, and just maybe in the spirit of Sarah Connor, we need to make this guy like melt into a vault of molten
Have it do a
lava.
thumbs up at the end. Well, Sarah couldn't be here because she's still hiding out from the police.
Right.
From
She's
all
down
the
in Mexico
terrorism
somewhere.
that she did. Well, we're at our final award for the night.
Boy, it's been a long night, and we've had a lot of fun.
I mean, this is the most prestigious night in entertainment, legal analysis, YouTube video podcasting that exists.
This is true. I mean, we are the #1 show in entertainment, legal podcast, legal
YouTube
analysis,
video. Yeah.
Yes,
All of that.
I mean, we are.
All
We
of
are.
it.
We
It's
are.
true. Don't Google it. So we've talked about so many episodes
Yes.
that we've done, and I do love that we've done so many different things. I do love that, that was part of the thing that we talked about before we ever started the show was if we're going to do this, as much as we both love Star Wars, as much as we both love comic books, we can't just do Star Wars and comic books. We've got to do some other stuff that I think just kind of, and I'll admit Freaky Friday was maybe a swing and a miss, but I wanted to at least test the waters of trying different things.
And we got tons of engagement, making people angry
Oh,
that we
yeah.
called piercing her ear mayhem.
Right.
And people are still mad about that. I still get every once in a while some
Honestly,
follow-up conversations.
We didn't make that an award, but if we had to do like most shocking reaction from the audience.
Oh yeah. It was the mayhem comment.
Yeah, just so you guys know, in Freaky Friday, we talked about would it be a crime that Lindsay Lohan's character goes and, she's in Jamie Lee Curtis's body. She goes and gets her ear pierced. And you said piercing a hole in another person's body without their consent is something called mayhem. We posted that clip on social media, and I didn't think much of it. I kind of posted it, walked away, and thought maybe this will get a couple views. We got to put up something. I came back the next day, and holy cow, it just hundreds of responses of people very passionate about like how upsetting it was.
Yeah.
And
what about people who pierce babies' ears? Or shouldn't they be thrown in jail? And then we got into other trimming of babies' body parts and different
then it got
things.
into, like, religious debates, and it just got bizarre. And I was like, this is so weird.
I know, and I responded to every single one
of them. And you were in the trolliest mood.
It was so fun.
Oh, they're going after Triple H right now. So.
That's so awesome.
If you saw the WWE episode, you'd get that joke.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it is time to look at of all the episodes we've done. And the point I was trying to get to is we also try to choose episodes where we're not just talking about the same kinds of crimes over and over and over.
Yes.
Each episode kind of has its own main event crime, wow. And on its own, you look at one of these things, you're like, that's horrible. The terrorists in Batman Begins trying to gas an entire city. You're like, of course, that's the worst thing that happens in that movie. But then you like But if we look at this movie, is it as bad as, Hannibal Lecter peeling off someone's skin,
Yes.
So we wanted to look at what are the worst crimes that we've talked about, but which one is the absolute, there's no coming back, there's no defense. This one is just the most heinous thing we've talked about. Let's take a look at the nominees. George conspires with Marty to assault Lorraine. Back to the Future. Triple H drugs and marries Stephanie McMahon. WWE. Benjamin Gates steals the Declaration of Independence. National Treasure. Santa's elf carelessly murders a misfit toy. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. John, Sarah, and the T-800 blow up Cyberdyne systems. Terminator 2. Anakin Skywalker slays the younglings. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The entire Gorman Massacre. Andor. Oh, man. Okay, I gotta say, the one that's on there that I think I texted you guys, you and producer Linda, both late at night.
Yes.
I was like, guys, have you ever noticed this? Was Santa's elf just yeeting that misfit toy that it knew had no chance of surviving? I mean, just careless.
It was a bird,
murder.
right? It was a bird that can't fly.
That specifically said, "I can only swim. I cannot fly."
And the look at the bird and the look at the parachute kicks him out of the sleigh.
Oh man, yeah.
And then also I learned, 'cause I didn't know this before that episode,
Right.
that there have been so many different versions of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh yeah, I can't even keep count of how many.
And so for those of you who don't know that or didn't watch it, first of all, if you didn't watch that episode, shame on you. But if you didn't watch that episode, go watch it because it's
so funny.
It's so bad.
funny.
Talking about discrimination against dentists and all kinds of awesome stuff.
Animal cruelty, pulling teeth. Oh, and you learned why he licks his hammer. That sounded terrible out of context.
Maybe that's the worst crime in all of Doug Defense. But there's some other mentions on here, and I have no idea who won. I truly, every single one of these has been a surprise to me. We did that intentionally, but I had a very serious conversation with a friend who was very concerned about my moral compass, that I was going to defend Anakin for killing the younglings. How dare I justify the killing of children? And we had a serious conversation. I almost lost a friend over it. So I mean,
and that was before the show even started.
It was before it started, yeah, because we were promoting the heck out of the fact that we had that as our debut episode. So, but every single one of these is definitely a really cool moment for us.
I think the one that I kind of sunk in my chair and I was like, I kind of regret doing this now, was the Triple H Mary Stephanie. Because I came in as like, Doug, we got to do wrestling. I love wrestling. Wrestling's crazy. But then the minute you actually start to say out loud what the story was, and just the look you gave me, like, what do you get out of watching this? I was just like, no, I mean, no, it's just no. I was like, it's just made up. It's for fun.
Right.
Like,
it's just
part of this is fun.
It's just for fun. It's only the assaults and
yeah. So that one, I feel like it took a couple episodes to get some of your respect back. So I don't know if there's going to be a follow-up.
I just so that you feel better about it.
Yeah.
I definitely judge you a lot harder for Freaky Friday than I do for making me watch
that's
wrestling.
By the way, Freakier Friday was great. I should have made you do that, but I didn't.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't. I missed that one.
It's good. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely not do that.
Okay. Can't wait to get home and not. So, yeah, a lot of terrible crimes. Some of the ones that I think almost made the cut but didn't was Cal Hockley from Titanic. I have a child.
Oh, yeah.
That to me, when we went into that episode,
Yeah.
I thought was going to be such a terrible moment. But then you kind of surprisingly were just like, it'd be tough because he did save that kid's life, whether he meant to or not. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess on the grand scheme of things, that doesn't quite live up to some of these other ones.
Well, and also in Titanic, honorable mention going to, Rose not letting Jack on the door. Just because the whole world needs to focus on that. I mean, you hate that. I don't totally love that discussion either, but the world loves the discussion about that. Just like Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Can you just open the winner, please?
I had somebody yesterday at a business meeting that I was at. They're like, oh, so what do you do? We introduce yourself, and I talk about being a criminal defense attorney with Ridley Defense, and I do all those things. And they say, yeah, I also do, this show, Doug Defends. And they said, oh, what kind of things did you do? And I ended up mentioning Die Hard, and they're like, I had a hard time finding Die Hard. It was like, folks, you can watch the individual arguments of both Billy and I and see who's got the most likes and feedback and comments on.
Well, see, I haven't sat there and babysat the stats of who's watched which one more.
Well, maybe
because when you're right, you sleep the sleep of the just, so you don't need to keep looking for anyone else's approval.
Oh, that was so much fun. I love everything about. Okay, going back to the crime of the year.
Ooh, crime of the year.
This is the best picture equivalent on the Douggies. And the winner is, I mean, the Dougie goes to Anakin kills the youngling.
I mean, of all the crimes we talked about.
Yes.
There's just like a couple rules in movies that you don't do.
Yeah, you don't kill kids.
You don't kill kids. In this movie, this franchise is kind of built around the idea that our good guy killed a whole bunch of kids.
Master Skywalker, what are we going to do?
Master Skywalker. What is it? I woke up this morning and my lightsaber needs to taste me some younglings.
Yes. Other things going on in Anakin's mind. I mean, there's no way that Anakin woke up that morning and said, you know what I need? This lightsaber needs to taste me some younglings. and that's not how his days started. That might be one of my favorite lines that I didn't even plan that out in advance, and that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that crime. I mean, you did a valiant job of like, if he was my client and I had to do this trial, here's what I would say. But I mean,
well, and so much of, and we talk about this on that show, and we talked about it at our premiere live on stage, that so much of my job is explaining why people do what they do.
Right.
And that's one of the things that this horrible, awful, horrible crime does have, is a lot of context. And when we just look at Anakin's story, it's really sad. And I maintain what I maintain on that. I'm proud of that episode. I mean, we came out of the shoot swinging and really did a great job with that one. And killing a bunch of little Jedi younglings qualifies.
That was, I think, too. We did that. That was our first episode we shot. Our first episode we put out. I think it would be a very different episode if we did it today, because when we did it then, we didn't have as many. I don't know. That first one feels really raw and kind of like, we're just going to say what we say. And now I feel like we kind of, to your point, what Instagram's going to be like. I'm not putting that on there. I'm not going to let you boost that. And I'm not going to say we censor ourselves by any stretch of the imagination, but we choose our words very carefully.
Yes, we do.
And so I don't know if that episode would come out as raw as it did in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, but it still is my favorite, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I'm looking forward to more Star Wars content.
But in terms of crimes, I think it's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Slaughtering even one kid is horrifying.
Yes.
Slaughtering hundreds of kids in one go. It's like, I don't know if there's anything that we're going to bring to the table that's going to be worse than that.
True.
You know?
But as Luke says, there is good in him. As Padme says, there is good in him.
I almost want like another Force ghost to like come whisper in Luke's ear, like, he's like, he did what? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I just leave. Yeah.
Well, and Miles, I love you, my friend. I apologize for offending you, and I hope you realize that scenario just won Crime of the Year Golden Dougie Award. So we are validating you and validating your opinion 100%. It's terrible. It's awful. It's inexcusable.
Yeah, this is the one award that you don't want attached to your name. You did the worst crime of the year.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll have to 3D print a golden Anakin lightsaber so we can memorialize forever the fact that he was the first winner of the Crime of the Year Golden Dougie.
I mean, this was an amazing first Dougie's ever. It's so fun to just go back and look at, what we've done.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a lot more to come.
Mm-hmm.
But I love doing the show. I love doing the show with you.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of interesting stuff coming up in the next few months.
Yeah, this is a big year for new stuff.
Huge year.
Yeah,
I mean,
excited.
The fact that like Avengers, Doomsday, and Dune are just not going to move.
Right.
And they're going to come out at the same time. Like,
yeah.
We're going to be busy this holiday.
Yeah, and we've got Mario coming up, and I'm excited about that.
We've got Mario. We've got Supergirl.
I cannot wait for Supergirl.
We've got
so
lanterns coming.
Yeah, and I am a huge Green Lantern fan. Like, I'm steeped in the lore. Like, we're gonna have a cool Green Lantern set. And also, folks, we want to hear from you what you'd like to see us analyze on the show. I mean, the Silence of the Lambs episode we did last week was because of your requests. So if there's some things that you really want to see us attack on this show, we would love to hear from you about that.
Yeah, neither of us chose National Treasure, but I'm glad someone suggested it. Because
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous, and it was fun, and it was perfect Doug Defends material.
Yeah,
so thank you for that suggestion. If you want to, and I know you do if you've made it this far into the video, if you want to go back and watch some of these episodes, find some of these moments, all of the videos are right here on the YouTube channel. Also, if you're listening to us on podcast, every single episode, including... Wicked kind of got snubbed. It kind of got shut out.
Oh my gosh,
year.
Wicked got snubbed again,
just like the real Oscars. It got snubbed for good.
Even our special episode of Wicked for Good.
Yeah, got snubbed for good. But all the episodes are right there wherever you find your audio podcast. We want to give you guys a special Dougie for hanging with us, and all of our regulars. Professor, Dr. T. Marie, all of our that watch and comment every week. We love you guys. Thank you for coming back every week. We've got a big one coming next. If you thought these movies were battling out today, there's a major battle between the irresistible force and the immovable object coming on the next episode right here of Doug Defends.
I've had the Jurassic Park theme song in my head ever since I watched it the other night.
I've had it in my head ever since you started humming it 4 minutes ago.
All right. Lucky you. It's not going to go away. I'm just warning you in advance. It's like a rash.
Rashes go away, Doug. I don't know who your dermatologist is.
But it stays and it's itchy for a while. That'll be the outtake.